Hey guys, Huzzy, bringing you another video, this time playing Nocturne Jungle, a jungler that's always been around, but with the new Wriggles item, Feral Flare, he's kind of come into his own, like Master Yi and other junglers. So quickly, I thought I'd say that I've recently just come back from a LAN at Fi's house with a whole team of Absolute Zero. We all met, it was really cool. And as you'd imagine, we played a lot of games. So this is a solo queue game, but I do actually have a lot of games of ranked 5s, so I'll be doing a lot of ranked 5s content coming up in the next few weeks, and I'm pleased to say that I will be resuming content as normal, as my only next thing I'm going to is a tournament in 2 to 3 weeks, but that's only for one weekend. The problem this time, I was actually away in the week and then I went away on the weekend, so it was like a double whammy. But anyway, Nocturne, he's really fun. I've always enjoyed playing Nocturne. He's a very engage-heavy jungler, as you'd probably imagine with his ultimate, and he does very well in counter ganks. Now, why would he do well in counter ganks or engages? Is that his ultimate? A counter gank is very good on Nocturne as he denies vision. He directly stops the enemy seeing what the hell is going on for the rest of the fight. You know, if someone runs into a bush and there's ward, they may have run out of range of vision because of the Nocturnal. It's extremely good in that aspect. Now, another tip when playing Nocturne, when you're doing Baron or something, even if you think it's going to be a contested Baron, use your ultimate when the Baron's just about to go down, because you may cut off the vision that the enemy jungler has of the Baron, therefore it should be an easy smite for you. But anyway, going into this game, I'm pleased to say I'm actually climbing now in ELO. I'm now, I think, 60 points, Diamond 3. So I'm working my way back to Diamond 1. It is getting there eventually, so hopefully soon I'll be able to get there. So this is a Diamond 3/2 game, because my MMR has actually increased quite a bit. So the team comps we're running a Jinx Lulu bot lane, which is a very strong bot lane. We are running a Ziggs mid, we are running a Nocturne jungle, and a Zac top. Now, Zac has not really seen much action in the few past, weeks or months even. But this guy mained Zac, and he does, well, we'll see how he does, but he's against Renekton, which is known as one of the best top laners, if not the best right now, for early game pressure. So we'll see how Zac manages to cope with that. Then the enemy team has obviously the Renekton top lane, a Kha'Zix jungle, which is known as one of the best as well, a Nidalee mid lane, and a Ashe Leona bot lane. So team comp wise, there's not much in it. Both teams have their advantages, and they actually are very similar team comps in certain respects. You've got both mid laners are poke mid laners. I would say ours may be a bit more useful, obviously, in team fights. Two junglers are both engaged junglers. You've got the Kha'Zix that will jump in, then use his ultimate. Excuse me. Then top lane, you've got two engaged tanky top laners that may also build a little bit of damage. And then the bot lanes are relatively even. Both have a bit of CC. Both have single target damage and a bit of CC themselves on the AD carry. So yeah, very similar team comps we're running here. But anyway, I'm going to go for a top lane gank. These guys have been blowing, trades and everything. Renekton is actually going for the first blood on Zac. Hey presto, there's the Zac passive that comes down. And hell yeah, I'm a Nocturne. I'm going to go for the first blood. So I'm going to ward that little bush and pick up the first blood, with Zac obviously surviving due to his ultimate. So I'll throw my Q down. He probably wants to push that, although I'm not going to take, XP. I want to give Zac the best chance of winning this game as possible. Now, you've just seen that Ziggs has actually left the game. So this is another one of them games, although bot lane now has got a double kill, that we had a very laggy Ziggs. He reconnects, disconnects all throughout the game, and this again kind of proves it doesn't really matter. You just play your own game, don't get frustrated, do the best you can do, and you may be able to carry it. And I'll always say, people ask me all the time, what roles do I think are the best for carrying things? Jungle, I think, is always going to be the best, and mid lane, because you've got the center of the map. Anyway, Ziggs is getting ganked. Again, you can tell he's DC'd right now. He's only auto-attacking, not using any spells, and any second he's going to come back into the game. So he's just come back, he pops his heal and his flash, but he does go down. So this lagging Ziggs is going to make this game a little bit of hard work, while I'm going to pick up the kill onto the Kha'Zix, and then most likely push the wave into the mid turret. So this has made me a little bit strong. I've got a CS lead over the Kha'Zix already, although in now top lane, Zac does go down. But yeah, I'm starting to get a little bit strong, and one thing I will say in this game that I want to point out is the Wriggles Feral Flare item. It was the first time I actually used this item, and it is very, very strong, ridiculously strong, and I think it actually may get nerfed soon, because the more you farm, the more damage it does to the champions. It's that little passive it has. But one thing I didn't do is I didn't farm it quick enough. So I'm going to be doing a little bit more farming. If we look into the gold tab, I've actually got 1600 gold. So that is enough to complete the wriggle. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back and you actually can see I've got the most gold in the game right now by about 300, give or take. So I'm going to go back and pick up the wriggles. Well, meanwhile in bot lane, they're actually going to get a double kill. Now, I have no idea how this happened. So Jinx, well played to her. Leona should have jumped on her. I'm not sure if actually she was or anything. But they get a double kill, even though they actually got double killed in the bot lane with the Kha'Zix gank. So I've picked up my wriggles. So the thing you want to do now, especially as a Master Yi or a Nocturne, is farm the living hell out of your jungle. Make sure you get your Feral Flare as quickly as you can. Now, as someone like me, this is the first time I've used the item, and this is a game that my team, although we're ahead in gold, the lanes are a bit dodgy. Ziggs keeps disconnecting. Zac has died to the Renekton, even though we got first blood on him. The lanes are in a bit of trouble here and there. So I probably will be helping the lanes more than farming. If normally I'd just be like farming the living hell out of my jungle, get Feral Flare, then go kill stuff. But I've got to kind of spend a little bit more time in lanes than I'd actually like. So I'm going for a top lane gank, but there is a ward in that little bush, so I kind of realise that he's got it warded, and I do just decide to go do a little bit of farming. Now again, Ziggs is getting, he's getting camped a little bit, let's be honest. Kha'Zix has realised that either the Ziggs is lagging, he's DCing, so he's going to go for some easy kills. So I just move into the area, show my presence, excuse me, and make them back off. Now, hopefully this Ziggs can just farm. He is actually ahead of CS, of this Nidalee, so hopefully he can maintain that. Now in the bot lane, there's a bit of a trade going on. Lulu is running very deep into the enemy lines. She could get turned on like what's happening right now. Leona makes the vital mistake of using her Zenith Blade when Jinx was in range, and therefore will just simply go down. I pick up the kill for myself that puts me on a killing spree. Arguably, I could have given that to Jinx, but right now I'm kind of just wanting to get as fed as possible. Now, I was going to go and just continue to farm, but this is where I kind of go, right, I want to prioritise lanes a little bit more than I normally would. I have just Sting 6, and if Ashe stayed at the tower, I could have easily dove her and got the kill. But I decide, well, she goes back, and then we decide, hey, Drake's up, I'm a very fed Nocturne with wriggles already, let's do Drake. Meanwhile, in top lane, Zac gets a kill onto Renekton. No idea how, and this is kind of what I mean. I don't think Zac is a winning lane against Renekton. He's just this Zac, from memory, played about 200 games with that champion, therefore knows him inside and out. And that's my biggest argument, while the Drake kind of goes buggy, is that no matter what champion or no matter what lane you're against, there is always a way to win it, as long as you know what you're doing. And that's, a big argument. Many people go, no, you only can play the OPs, or you only can play a matchup that's suitable, favourable for you. So anyway, I'm going to go forward the ultimate any second onto the Nidalee, pick up the kill, and here, mega derp moment by me. I thought I was dead anyway, so I moved back into the turret and just got killed. But luckily, the tower got it. Nidalee got nothing for it, therefore it doesn't really mean anything. Just a bit of time wasting on my part. I could be farming their jungle or going to mine, getting my red straight away. Instead, I am dead. But it doesn't give them anything. Nidalee didn't even get XP for my death, seeing that she was already dead. So the items now I've picked up, I've got the wriggles that will be eventually farming into that Feral Flare. If I'm not sure... Yeah, I can. I've got 9 stacks of the wriggles into the Feral Flare. So if you're unaware of what this item does, the main camps of each jungle, so you're talking about the big wolf, the big wraith, the white, the big double golem in the bot lane, and I think it also counts for the buff, the actual buff mob. Every single one of them you kill gives you a stack onto your wriggles. Once you reach 25, it transforms into the Feral Flare item. Once you have that, the more farming you do, the damage increases on the magic little damage that it actually puts out on champions. Now, we already know that these guys are coming down. I put a ward into that little bush just above red, so we know this is happening. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to pick up red, but unfortunately, I don't have my ultimate. If I had my ultimate, this would be an easy pickings fight for us. Now, we are actually collapsing onto them. But here again, Ziggs has gone. He's lagged out, or he's DC'd, and he's just going to stay there for a little while and actually get speared. Now, luckily, they don't have any vision of him in memory. I think I can kind of check. Yeah, as you can see, they don't have any vision. Nearly just throw another spear out there, or actually they do. Don't know why they didn't actually go from there. So yeah, I'm actually going to start in these commentaries, by the way, trying to learn the F buttons instead of using all the clicks. So there is a gank going on the bot lane. Lulu is in big trouble. She isn't 6 yet. You know, she's probably going to get dived, or maybe she actually survives. I think she may do. I use my fear onto Leona, and this should be a fairly easy kill for us. And there we go. Jinx managed to pick up the kill. I'm going to continue going for the chase, although I don't have ultimate, in 52 seconds, seeing if we can get anything else. So we're going to maybe look for it, or at least get the turret while Ziggs has gone again. So Ashe is in a compromised position. We know she doesn't have her ultimate, so if she goes in the wrong position, there's the slow, here's the engage. She runs back into the turret, which is quite a smart move, honestly, and there's the kill. Jinx is on a rampage, but unfortunately, Nidalee does come. She gets a double kill from me and the Lulu, but Jinx is actually doing a fairly good job. She managed, I think, to kill the Kha'Zix. She did, and she's either going to escape or she's going to pick up the kill. I think she just runs away, honestly. You know, she doesn't really want to risk it unless she's going to just try and cheese the Nidalee if she runs back to lane, but I doubt it anyway. So yeah, Ziggs has gone again, and yeah, this is what this commentary is about. You can still win the game, even though if one of your lanes isn't performing, or one of your lanes isn't even in the game, you can still do stuff to try and win the game. Now, going into my build, obviously, rush that Wriggles. Then I bought myself a Giant Spell. Now, why did I do that? Giant Spell gives you a lot of health. I think it's 480 off the top of my head, or 380, they nerfed it. They give 380 health. Early game, that's a lot of health. And if I'm fed as I am, with Ultimate, you know, Nocturne Ultimate, I will most likely be going under tower sometime or another. So having that extra health will help me in them little engages. Plus, it sounds really dumb, but a lot of what League of Legends is mind games. And if you have someone coming at you with a lot more health bars than you, it's really intimidating. Even though it may not do a lot, the health bars actually is an intimidating factor that many people go, whoa, he has a lot of health, I'm not going to fight him. He must be really fed. Which obviously I am fed, but I could have been, you know, doing a lot more damage at this point, but I'm still doing quite a bit. So I've got 2 longswords, which at this point, I'm not really sure what I was going to build it in. I was actually thinking, okay, I might get a Yumus here. That would be really good. You know, gets the armor pen, CDR, and gives me that little active that I can go push towers. Now, you have to remember, Nocturne is one of the best pushing tower champions in the game. As with the attack speed buff on Quince, it's incredible. Now, I'm going to go for a little ultimate combo here with the Ziggs. Now, unfortunately, we didn't get the full damage of the Ziggs ult. He hit just the edge of the Kha'Zix. He didn't hit, you know, the center, and as well, Jinx ult just barely misses onto the Kha'Zix. So that could have gone a lot better for us, but, you know, hey ho, we don't get a kill. Ziggs does have to be careful. You know, if he DCs at this health, he's dead, and that will not be great for us. Gonna do a bit of farming, but I think Ziggs may get engaged on soon. You know, the red buff is a big, big step up for the Nidalee. You know, just having that extra red, extra damage, a little bit of a slow helps you hit the, you know, the spear a little bit more. But we do just decide to back off. Now, bot lane has to be very careful. They are extremely pushed right now. And I think, well, obviously they're going for it. Ashe ult does hit. Lulu does. Oh, this is going to be a bit tricky. Meanwhile, in top, Zac does get another kill onto the Renekton. And he's actually doing a very, very good job, this Zac. So as mentioned again, it just shows, you know, if you know the champion, you can beat any lane in the game. So I've just come into mid just to save it. I used my spell shield to get rid of the spear damage, as it was obvious that it was going to come in. But Nidalee actually has taken the CS lead over the Ziggs now, as well as obviously having increased kills because of the pressure. You know, Ziggs is lacking because he keeps DCing. But let's go back in more of the champion Nocturne. So I haven't mentioned it yet, but what are my runes and masteries? So as for runes, it's a bit up in the air right now, as obviously runes has recently changed. But all I'll say is attack speed, attack speed, attack speed. It is amazing on Nocturne. My ranked 5s team actually played against a Nocturne that ran, I think it was like 28% attack speed in runes. So it would be red and quince. You know, red attack speeds and quint attack speeds. And he absolutely tore everything apart. He got towers instantly. He got kills because of the attack speed. He cleared the jungle quicker, as the more you attack, the passive comes in a little bit more. It was incredible. So I'm actually running 9% attack speed right now. Meanwhile, in mid lane, there is a bit of an engage. Jinx and Ziggs versus Kha'Zix and Nidalee. Ziggs will do a fairly good job, but the only problem is he's isolated right now. So the Kha'Zix damage is amplified, and he does manage to pick that up, which is a bit of a bummer. But you know, he should have run to minion Ziggs if possible. Now Renekton has come into the mid lane. I'm surprised he didn't go on to me. Obviously, he wasn't looking. But they will most likely just pick up this mid tower for free. Renekton has realised I can't really do much to the Zac right now. Therefore, I will try and just help my team elsewhere. So I can't really argue with this Renekton right now. He has got a health advantage on me, and I don't really know if Leona's still in the area to stun me or anything like that. Meanwhile, in bot lane, Lulu's going to try her best just to defend this turret while I'm on red. Leona comes down with Ashe. The only thing they did badly there is they used both their stuns at the same time. Now, Ashe, as you can see, is tanking turret. And Nocturne out straight onto Ashe. Now, I was doing the red buff, and I actually cancelled doing the red buff. I stopped doing it to come down and help. So as I'll say again, what they did wrong there, while I'm getting a little bit engaged on, use attack move and get the kill instantly with the fear onto the Kha'Zix for my escape. They combined their stuns, so they didn't optimize the time Lulu was stunned. They used both. Well, I'll actually follow the fight. They used Leona's EQ while Ashe arrow was on her. Therefore, they weren't optimizing the time Lulu was stunned. Therefore, both stuns didn't really do anything. Only one of them really counted. Now, Jinx with the red buff, obviously, is one of the best chasing champions in the game. I don't think she's going to pick up the Nidalee unless Nidalee does something very, wrong, like get hit by a zap. Will probably end her life, I would imagine. And, she just misses it, but Jinx will probably apply the pressure. Now, Nidalee really should not be fighting this Jinx, but although that spear hit, she probably is going to go aggressive, and hey presto, free kill. So that was a mistake by Nidalee. I would never have really gone for that fight if I was her, but she did. Now here's what I want to go on about again with Nocturne. Right now, we're at 15 minutes in the game. I should have my Feral Flare way earlier, about 12 minutes, 12 to 13 minutes. Now the reason I haven't this game is because I've been involved in a lot of kills. I've been involved of 9 of 18, so I've been in 50% of kills at the 15-minute mark as a Nocturne, which isn't really heard of. It doesn't really normally happen, as Nocturne is a farm-orientated jungle. He will farm, and then come in really fed, but I have been ganking quite a lot compared to what a normal Nocturne will do. Now, Jinx actually soloed the dragon, which was quite surprising, was risky, but she does actually get it. And hey presto, you can see the item that I have actually bought. I have bought myself a Blade of the Ruined King. Now, as I mentioned earlier, them 2 longswords, I wasn't really sure what I was going to build them into. It could have been a Brutalizer into a Yumu's, which is a very good idea for Nocturne. Helps you push them turrets, helps you have that extra burst when you ultimate in. But I actually opt for the Bork. Bork obviously is going to do more damage than the Yumu's, and it still gives me that active slow. It gives me the percentage health. So it is obviously a increase from the Yumu's, but the Yumu's would still be a good option if I didn't have enough gold to buy it. Now let's look into the CS of this game. We've got Zac that's leading with 141 compared to the 120 of Renekton, but let's look into the jungles. So there is actually a fight going in the bot lane, which we'll kind of pan over while I'm walking in. Very nice chompers by the Jinx before she goes down. I flash onto the Kha'Zix just to secure the kill, and I think we'll just go for the Ashe. Zigzbun will pick up the Leona, and then I think I will take that because it was a Lulu next to me. But as I was saying, if I remember what I was saying, CS-wise in the jungle, I'm on 91 compared to the Kha'Zix's 68. Now, if we compare that to the rest of my team, can't really compare it to the Ziggs as he hasn't really been here, but the Nidalee's only on 99. I'm very close to beating her, and the Ashe, I'm ahead of their Ashe. So although I've been ganking a lot, I've been farming a lot, I actually have still got a big CS lead. Now, Nidalee thinks she's safe right now, but she actually doesn't realise how much damage I do. I've got the Feral Flare right now, and here we go. Boom, with the Bork, and with the red buff. Goodbye. So, you don't really expect that from a jungler at the 17-minute mark to practically combo a kill onto your mid lane. But yeah, that kind of shows how strong Nocturne is. Though yes, I am 9-4, but if I ignored my lanes and just farmed, I probably would be about 150 CS, maybe more by this point if I didn't gank at all or very little, and I probably would have had near the same items if I was literally just farming all the time. Farm gives you a lot of gold, especially if you've got the new Feral Flare item, as you do get bonus gold from monsters. As you can see, I've got a bonus 352 gold from farming, and I actually haven't been farming that much. So it shows you can actually stack up a lot of gold with this new item. I am a big fan of it, by the way. Obviously, some champions it doesn't really suit. Like Kha'Zix, he's not an attack speed jungler, but champions like Master Yi, Xin Zhao, Nocturne, Tryndamere, this is a great item for. And I'll actually argue Jack's jungle as well has actually got a buff because of this item. Although I'm not a massive fan of Jack's jungle, I think it may be viable nowadays because you'll just stay in the jungle, farm a lot, get your gold, and then you'll come out like a beast. So that may be something I have to look into in solo queue, because obviously now I am playing top lane more than anything. Kha'Zix actually has DC'd as well. From my memory, I don't think any major problems are happening in this game. There may have been a little bit of EUS lag, but I experienced nothing. Most of my team experienced nothing. It was mainly the Ziggs that got hit, which I now actually have overtaken his CS too. So I'm going to speed up the game now. We're probably in the, like, it sounds weird, but we're probably in the closing stages of the game, seeing how fed I actually am. Now, Ashe does manage to solo the Lulu, but you can see the health of Ashe, like, she's based with hardly anything. So our support can nearly solo the AD carry. So the focus is on the mid turret. Ziggs is actually quite low health, and I will have to say, this Ziggs was fairly confident, seeing that he didn't have, you know, much connection issues. So I'm going to ultimate straight on top, and I'm actually going to give this kill to the Ziggs. I could have taken it, I could have, you know, done the auto attack, but I decided against it and give it to him, as I'm fed enough. I don't know if this game is going to go on for another 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or it's going to end, you know, right away. And I'm fed enough. You know, I've got the Feral Flare, I've got my Bork, I've got my Randuins. Now you'll notice I don't have boots yet, and that's because I don't need them. You know, the only time I'm really ganking is if the enemy is overextending in a gank, so I can literally just run up to them, or I've got my ultimate. I don't need boots this early. I'd argue if you're not as ahead as I am, then boots are actually more viable. But because I'm so far ahead, it really doesn't matter that I don't have boots. So we're going to go for this turret, but any second I think I will die. My W's on cooldown, Leona Rock comes down, with Ashe doing all of her damage, and I do go down, which is a bit of a bummer. Jinx is going to go very aggressive, rocket straight onto Ashe, as you can see what she's going to do. So she's ripping people's health right now. Really well played by her. Double kill onto the Nidalee, and she's going to continue going for this little bit of a fight. You know, Leona makes a mistake, I think, of stunning the Jinx. She should have just run away, but Jinx is going to do her best. You can see the little bit of range. One more, and boom. So really nice play by Jinx. I'd have to say she's a very confident Jinx in how she played. She knew the limits of the champion and therefore could capitalize on them. So I think the game's going to end in the near future. Nocturne Jungle, as mentioned, very strong, and there's the game. So this item, Feral Flare, I think it's amazing, and certain champions like Nocturne have benefited greatly from it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Nocturne is a fun jungler that I really enjoy, and there's going to be content coming up soon. As mentioned, I am back now. I have only got a tournament in 2-3 weeks, and that's only for one weekend, so content will resume as normal. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.